Picture this. You're sitting at the kitchen table, sipping your morning coffee, and you suddenly hear a neighbor mention that if you don't take action before September 1st, you could lose part of your Social Security benefits. At first, it sounds impossible. How can something you've earned after years of hard work just slip away because of a missed deadline? But the truth is, deadlines are very real in the Social Security system, and if you don't know about them, you could end up missing out on money that you have every right to receive. That's why this video is so important, because September 1st, 2025 is not just another date on the calendar. For many seniors across the United States, it's the cutoff for filing key paperwork, updating eligibility information, or confirming details that the Social Security Administration needs to keep your benefits active and accurate. And the harsh reality is, if you miss that deadline, your benefits could be delayed, reduced, or even stopped altogether until you fix the issue. Now, let's be absolutely clear. This isn't a scare tactic. This isn't about spreading rumors or hyping up fake news. This is about making sure you have the facts before it's too late. Social Security is a lifeline for millions of Americans, and for many seniors, it represents the difference between financial stability and financial struggle. But because the program is tied to strict government rules, paperwork, and filing deadlines, staying informed is the only way to protect what you've earned. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what needs to be done before September 1st, why this filing deadline matters, and how you can take action today to make sure your money keeps flowing without interruption. If you depend on Social Security for your rent, groceries, medications, or simply peace of mind, stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll know the truth about this deadline and the exact steps you need to take right now to avoid losing benefits you've worked a lifetime to secure. Now let's get into the details, because the last thing anyone wants is to be caught off guard by a government deadline. Social Security is a program that millions of Americans rely on, but what a lot of people don't realize is that it isn't just a simple check that shows up every month without conditions. Behind the scenes, the Social Security Administration requires paperwork, verification, and updated information to make sure that every benefit being paid is accurate and legitimate. That means when a filing date or deadline appears on the calendar, it matters. It's not just paperwork for the sake of paperwork. It's the mechanism that keeps your payments flowing. September 1st, 2025 is one of those dates that could make or break someone's financial peace of mind. The reason a date like this is so important is because Social Security operates on strict rules. Think about how many millions of people across the country receive benefits, retirement benefits, disability benefits, survivor's benefits, and supplemental security income. With that many individuals depending on the system, the government sets deadlines to ensure they can confirm eligibility, prevent overpayments, and avoid fraud. While that may sound bureaucratic, the truth is if you don't comply, the consequences fall on you. The check you count on to cover rent, buy groceries, or fill prescriptions could suddenly stop because the system doesn't have the paperwork it needs from you. That's why it's not an exaggeration to say missing a filing deadline can cause real hardship. For seniors who depend entirely or mostly on Social Security, losing even 1 month's worth of benefits can be devastating. Bills don't wait just because the government does. Landlords still expect rent, utility companies still want payment, and pharmacies still need to be paid when you pick up medication. If you're living on a fixed income, there's no room for delays. And here's the thing, most of the time, when benefits are cut off or suspended, it's not because someone wasn't eligible, it's because they didn't know about a deadline or didn't file the necessary paperwork in time. In other words, many people lose money not because they weren't entitled to it, but because they weren't informed. This is exactly why I want you to understand what September 1st means. Around this time, Social Security requires many recipients to verify their continued eligibility. That could involve updating your income information if you're on SSI, confirming your disability status if you're on SSDI, or even reviewing other benefits you may be receiving that interact with Social Security. It's also the period when the administration checks for changes in living arrangements, marital status, or other factors that could affect the benefit amount. Now, for some people, this may sound like a hassle, but it's really about making sure your payments are correct. If you do nothing, the system assumes something may have changed, and that's when benefits get frozen until you take action. Let's make this real with an example. Imagine someone who has been receiving supplemental security income. They've lived in the same apartment for years, their income hasn't changed, and everything in their life feels stable. They might think, why should I have to fill out a form or update my status when nothing has changed? The problem is, the system doesn't know nothing has changed unless you tell them. If that person ignores the notice, doesn't send in the paperwork, or simply misses the September 1st deadline, their payments could be cut off. Suddenly, they're left scrambling, trying to contact the Social Security office, waiting on hold, and filing appeals just to get back what should have never stopped in the first place. And in the meantime, bills keep coming. That stress can be overwhelming, and it's completely avoidable if you act ahead of time. Another reason deadlines like September 1st are so important is because of the backlog at Social Security offices. Anyone who's ever tried to call the SSA knows how frustrating it can be. The wait times can be hours long, offices are understaffed, and responses are slow. So if you wait until the last minute or worse, after the deadline has passed, you're not only facing suspended benefits, you're also stuck in a line with thousands of others trying to fix the same issue. It can take weeks or even months to resolve, and during that time, you're without income. That's why the smartest move is to take action before the deadline, when things can be handled smoothly and without interruption. Now, you might be asking yourself, what exactly do I need to file? And while the exact paperwork can vary depending on whether you're on SSI, SSDI, or another program, the general rule is simple: respond to any communication you receive from Social Security. If they send you a notice in the mail, don't ignore it. If they request updated information, provide it. If they ask for a review of your eligibility, complete it before the September 1st deadline. It might feel tedious, but remember, this is the safeguard for your benefits. Think of it as an insurance policy. You're taking a few minutes now to guarantee that your money keeps arriving every month without interruption. What's even more frustrating for many seniors is how confusing the notices can be. Government letters aren't always written in plain language. They can feel intimidating, filled with technical terms and long explanations that make it easy to misunderstand what's being asked. That's another reason why so many people put them aside and think, I'll deal with this later. But later often becomes too late, and the result is benefits getting cut off. The truth is, if you ever feel unsure about a notice you receive, the best thing you can do is ask for help immediately. Whether that's contacting a trusted family member, speaking with a local advocacy group, or calling Social Security directly, the key is not to ignore it. September 1st is too important a date to brush aside. Let's also talk about the emotional toll of dealing with this system. For many seniors, Social Security isn't just a paycheck. It's the recognition of years of work and contribution to this country. When that benefit feels threatened, it can feel like your dignity is under attack too. You worked hard, you paid into the system, and now you expect the government to deliver on its promise. That's why deadlines like this feel so high stakes. It's not just paperwork, it's peace of mind. Missing a filing date feels like being punished for something you didn't even know about, and that sense of unfairness can weigh heavily. That's why videos like this exist, to give you the clarity and information you deserve so you can act with confidence instead of fear. One of the most common questions people ask is, what happens if I do miss the September 1st deadline? The answer isn't pleasant, but it's important to know. If you miss it, your benefits can be suspended. That doesn't mean they're gone forever, but it does mean you'll have to go through a process to get them reinstated. That process can include providing all the information you failed to send on time, explaining the reason for the delay, and sometimes even attending an in-person interview. In some cases, you may be entitled to back pay for the missed months, but only after the issue is resolved. Until then, you're left waiting, and that waiting period is where the real damage happens. For seniors living paycheck to paycheck, even one missed deposit can create a domino effect of financial problems. So, the takeaway is simple. Don't let September 1st sneak up on you. Take the deadline seriously, file whatever paperwork is required, and make sure your information with Social Security is up to date. By doing so, you're not just following the rules, you're protecting yourself. You're making sure that your income, your stability, and your peace of mind are secure. The government may not always make things easy, but when you know the deadlines and understand their importance, you can stay one step ahead. I can't stress enough how important this is for anyone on SSI or SSDI in particular. These programs are designed for people who are already vulnerable, those with limited income, disabilities, or other challenges. Missing a deadline doesn't just mean an inconvenience. It can mean losing the very safety net that allows you to survive. That's why September 1st should be circled on your calendar, highlighted on your phone, and top of mind in the days leading up to it. This is your chance to act, to secure your benefits, and to avoid the stress of being cut off unexpectedly. And remember, this isn't about being scared. It's about being prepared. The Social Security Administration has rules, but those rules are navigable if you know them. By understanding the deadline, acting early, and keeping your information up to date, you take control of your financial future. You remove the uncertainty, you avoid the panic, and you make sure that the benefits you've earned continue without disruption. September 1st isn't just another date, it's a checkpoint, a reminder to double-check your status, and a chance to protect what's rightfully yours.